time is it now? It looks like 8:09, and we have in-studio guest Chris from August Roofing and Solar. Chris, I have not seen you for 2 weeks because Kyle and I were on vacation. The big question, most important question, did you miss us?
Yes, 100%.
I mean, basically.
We were just catching up where you're doing.
We missed you as well. And hopefully whoever, I'm assuming it was Menji who chatted with you when we were gone.
Yeah, we chatted last week. It was quite nice.
I know, Menji's great.
Yes, he is.
Menji's awesome. Let's talk about it is hot. It is hot. Before we launch into, solar and roofing and all that stuff, how do you guys do it in this heat? Like, how do the people who work for your company, the ones who actually go on the roof, what do you do to combat the heat so you can install these panels and fix a roof? What do you do?
Well, I mean, I started out my career on the roof, so I do understand what these guys go through, and it is tough. But it's one of those things you do get accustomed to it at a level, and then it is drink lots and lots of water, and we do have, take your breaks, get cooled down.
Take your breaks, cool down.
Yep.
Do they have those things that you put around the neck, to keep cool, those little scarves with the jelly in them? And...
Yeah, I mean, each guy's a little different. Some guys like sombreros, some guys like those. It's a little personal preference. Some guys like to actually wear long sleeves and get covered up, which is, in some areas, that's what it's like insulation against the heat. Counterintuitive to what we think, right?
I mean, you might get sweaty, but
Right.
but it does protect you from that sun that is beating down on you. Better for your health, better for your skin. And it works if you keep drinking the water. You got to stay hydrated.
Yes.
That being said, we just went through, well, I shouldn't say we. I wasn't here. I missed the triple digits.
That's right.
Do you, when you start, we have this elongated period of triple digits, does the phone start ringing off the hook and people saying, I got to get solar because we need the AC and we need that pool pump and we need to run it all the time? Does the phone ring more?
Yes, it's very similar to when it rains, right? I mean, we're all creatures of habit. I mean, I've been in this business 30 plus years now, and I'm constantly like, oh, man, I wish everybody would just like call at an even pace. But the reality is I'm just the same. When I need something, it's usually when everybody else needs something, right?
Exactly.
When do they sell bathing suits, right?
It's feast or famine, and
Right.
that's what happens. So when we see that those triple digits, I'm sure the phone rings off the hook. Let's talk this time, because we are coming off triple digits, let's talk this time about solar. How do we know when it's the right time for us? When do we finally pull the trigger on that solar and say, I've been thinking about it so long, now's the time?
Yeah, really, it's important for ROIs. Which is return on investments, which we talk a lot about in the industry. So it's a very expensive process, but it's one of the only home improvements that will actually pay you back. So it's kind of a neat home improvement. So our process at August Roofing is you would get us all of your bills for the last year. So we will know what your usage is on an annual basis, because there's highs and lows, right?
Sure.
Today you're running the AC like no tomorrow and your
Yes.
pool pump because the kids are playing in the pool.
Yes.
And in winter you're only got the lights on. So we get all your bills, so we know an annualized production. Then we have a thing called a max fit. So we basically have a computer program that assesses your usage, and if we put panels in your entire house, what would each of them be? How would they function? What was their output be? And then from there we can design a system, and then we balance that off with cost and how much that would offset the cost, and then you can get an ROI. So that's the real important thing. To talk about solar, you really need to get a proper assessment done. A lot of people just jump into it. They want it. I understand it's kind of the thing these days. Got to keep up the Joneses. But if you really want to do good for yourself, then get a proper assessment done.
And it takes, how long is that process? So you call August Roofing and Solar, and I'm assuming, do you or one of your colleagues go out to do the assessment?
Yeah, well, if you can get us your bills ahead of time. That's the real best way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Then we can get all that work done in the computer before we head out to your project.
Oh, even better.
Right. And then when we're there, what we're doing is we're assessing how the condition of the roof and how will the roof accept it, and do we need to do anything with the roof. So then at the end of the appointment, we really have the best of all the worlds. We have a proper assessment. We can talk to you about different size systems, because some people don't go for 100%, just knock my bill out. Some people just do a certain percentage. I want to just spend this much and put it on my back because I want the house to look nice. But then okay, I get $200 off my bill. So it's not a one size fits all. And then we assess the roof when we're there too, and now we have 100% holistic system.
Process time from the time by the way, if you do this research beforehand and get your bills, and they should be very easy to get,
Yep.
because I know I have access. If you've got an account with SoCal Edison, you can get them online, screenshot them, boom, you can get them to Chris and August Roofing and Solar in a matter of minutes in an email, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, oh yeah. They even have green dot data or something like that. I might be misquoting it, but it's got like every 15 minutes usage.
Yes,
It's like
yes.
crazy.
Yes.
That we can put in there too. It's even more accurate.
Because I've seen, as soon as I wake up in the morning at 3:30,
Yeah.
I see the blue line go right up, and because I'm switching on the lights and I'm getting the coffee, and I see the blue line go up. Yes, there's absolutely, if you sign up and you get an account online with SoCal Edison, you can have that information in minutes. Then you can get it to Chris and his colleagues, and they'll have it within minutes. Do that beforehand. Once you have that information and you make an appointment, and let's just assume, because sometimes, if it's a small household and the ROI is not going to make sense,
Right, we don't sell solar.
it doesn't make sense. So we can stop it right there. Maybe sometimes you don't even go out because you say, you might want to rethink this. It's the return on investment really isn't for you. And that's why you want to get Chris those bills. But let's assume that it would pay off, maybe a bigger family. There's a lot of usage. What's the time frame from getting all of the bills to actually flipping the switch?
And that is a huge disparity depending on what municipality you live in. Some cities permits are super easy. Some cities permits are terrible. A good one, if you want to just say average it out, probably 2 months from the time we sit down, sign a contract, till we can have your system up and running.
So we can flip it. 2 months is really not that bad, but I know that probably with these permits, for some reason, it's hit or miss with the permits. It really is. Sometimes they pull them very quickly, and other times you are waiting and everything stops. Right. In all kinds of construction and all kinds of buildings, that happens a lot. Yes. So we have to be patient as well. So you might want to think ahead. Yeah. If you even think that this is something that you want to do the research, right, Chris? Right. Do the research, get the first thing right off the bat, get your electric bills in order, and then get them to Chris, because maybe not this summer, or maybe over the winter, and you can be all ready for next summer. Yep. Kind of be proactive in that direction. Time is running out as always, sir, so we have to wrap this up. I know you are on Siri.
Yes.
So if people want to get in touch with you, what do they say?
They say, "Hey Siri, call August Roofing and Solar."
That's it. As easy as that.
Yeah.
But if they don't have Siri, if they have like Delgado, what do you got? A Galaxy?
He's a flip
phone,
I think. Right?
He's a flip phone. He's a flip phone from 1997.
Yeah.
So if you have to do old school, where do we go?
We go augustroofing.com will be your best way. Sign up there, and we'll get one of our people to call and get you an appointment.
augustroofing.com, just like the month. Happy August 1st, dude.
Yeah.
You should come in with
it's
your month. You should come in with a crown.
Yes.
All this month. Talk to Chris, talk to his colleagues. They can hook you up with solar. And next time we'll talk about roofing and how that affects us in this very hot weather. Have a great week.
Sure. You too.